Your bank didn't choose your mortgage rate. The Federal Reserve didn't invent it either. That number, the one quietly draining your bank account every month, comes from a market most people have never looked at once in their entire lives. It is a massive $145 trillion ghost machine. It quietly determines your mortgage, your car loan, your job security, and the safety of your retirement. And in 2022, this silent engine caused the safest parts of millions of retirement portfolios to lose 16% in a single year. The harsh truth is that most people who own bonds don't actually understand how they work. But by the end of this video, you will. More importantly, you'll know exactly what every single move in the bond market costs you in cold hard cash. Let's strip away the complex academic jargon. A bond is simply a loan. When an entity needs money, whether it's a government, a multi-billion-dollar corporation, or a local city, instead of begging a commercial bank, they borrow it directly from investors like you. You hand over a fixed amount of cash, called the principal. In exchange, they promise you exactly two things: a fixed interest payment every year, which the industry calls the coupon. Your original principal back on a specific locked-in date called the maturity. That is the entire instrument. It's just a formal piece of paper that says, lend me money now, I'll pay you interest every year, and I'll give your capital back on this exact date. Bonds are not complicated. What makes them terrifyingly powerful is the sheer scale at which they operate. The United States government borrows more money than any other entity on Earth. The total national debt sits at roughly $39.2 trillion. That number is so astronomically large that the human brain cannot process it. So look at this number instead. The interest payment alone, not the debt itself, just the annual interest, is roughly $1.05 trillion a year. That works out to about $2.88 billion every single day. The US government now spends more money just paying off interest than it does on its entire national defense budget. This matters directly to you because every single dollar of that interest is paid straight out of your tax dollars at a rate set by the exact same market that prices your housing. To make sense of everything else in this video, you only need to master one golden unbreakable rule. When interest rates rise, the price of existing bonds falls. And when interest rates fall, the price of existing bonds rises. They move in opposite directions every single time, without exception. Here is exactly why. Suppose you buy a $1,000 bond paying a 3% coupon. That contract pays you $30 a year. A few months later, inflation spikes, and the government starts issuing brand new bonds paying 5%. Those new bonds pay $50 a year for the exact same $1,000 investment. Now imagine you need cash and want to sell your old 3% bond. Nobody is going to pay you $1,000 for it when they can walk across the street and buy a new one paying $50. The only way you can convince a buyer to take your bond is to slash your price. You have to drop the price of your bond until the $30 it pays matches a competitive 5% yield. In this case, your $1,000 bond's market value plummets to about $600. You haven't lost your future payments. The bond will still pay you $30 a year and return your $1,000 at maturity. But on paper, your $1,000 asset is now worth only $600. Every financial disaster in modern history is simply this exact rule operating on a massive global scale. Of all the bonds in that $145 trillion market, one single asset class matters more than everything else combined: the 10-year U.S. Treasury yield. When a retail bank decides what mortgage rate to offer you, they don't invent a number. They look directly at the current 10-year Treasury yield and ask a logical question. Why would we lend money to a regular family for 30 years when we could lend it to the United States government for 10 years completely risk-free? The answer is simple. They wouldn't. Not unless you pay a premium. So, the bank takes the risk-free 10-year yield and adds roughly 2 percentage points to compensate for the real-world risk that you might lose your job, get sick, or default on the loan. If the 10-year Treasury sits at 4.5%, the bank adds those 2 percentage points, and the national average 30-year fixed mortgage rate lands exactly at 6.52%. The math is that direct. Let's look at a real-world example. Consider Brian. Brian is buying a home and needs a $400,000 30-year fixed mortgage. At a 6.52% interest rate, his monthly principal and interest payment is exactly $2,534. Now imagine the 10-year Treasury yield ticks up by just half a percentage point. A completely routine, minor move that the bond market easily completes in a single week of trading. Brian's mortgage rate rises by that same half point to 7.02%. His new monthly payment is now $2,667. That is an extra $133 out of his pocket every single month for the next 360 months. Over the life of that loan, a tiny routine half-point move in a distant bond market costs Brian an extra $47,898. If the 10-year moves up by a full percentage point, which happens all the time, Brian's mortgage rate climbs to 7.52%. His monthly payment becomes $2,802. That's $268 more every single month. Over 30 years, that single percentage point move in a bond yield Brian has never traded, in a market he has never visited, extracts a staggering $96,769 from his wealth. To see the absolute scale of this power, let's run Brian's $400,000 loan through two historical extremes. In January of 2021, the average 30-year fixed mortgage hit an all-time low of 2.65%. At that rate, Brian's monthly payment would have been just $1,612. But by October of 2023, that exact same mortgage rate peaked at 7.79%. At that peak, the exact same $400,000 loan on the exact same house cost Brian $2,877 a month. Let that sink in. It is the same house, the same loan size, and the same buyer. The only variable that changed was the yield on the 10-year U.S. Treasury. The difference is $1,265 every single month, which adds up to a mind-blowing $455,349 over the life of the mortgage. The bond market handed Brian a $500,000 bill without ever sending him a single warning or invoice. For over 40 years, the standard default advice handed to anyone planning for retirement was simple. As you age, transition your capital out of volatile stocks and into safe, stable bonds. Stocks are there to grow your wealth. Bonds are there to protect it. The classic 60-40 portfolio, 60% stocks, 40% bonds, was sold by financial advisors as the ultimate conservative, sensible default. The bond half of your money was supposed to act as the financial seatbelt during a crash. But in 2022, the Federal Reserve raised interest rates faster than at any point in the last 4 decades, spiking the federal funds rate from near zero to over 4% in just 9 months. Now apply our unbreakable law from Act 1. When rates rise, existing bond prices must fall. The broad U.S. bond market, measured by the Bloomberg U.S. Aggregate Bond Index, lost 13% of its value that year. It was the absolute worst calendar year in the index's history going back to 1976. At the exact same time, the stock market crashed, with the S&P 500 falling 18.1%. Because both assets crashed together, the supposedly safe conservative 60-40 portfolio lost about 16% in 2022. The seatbelt didn't protect anyone. It was bolted directly to the chassis of the car that crashed. The further out you went on the horizon, the more devastating the losses became. Intermediate-term treasury bonds, the exact kind sitting quietly inside most target-date retirement funds, lost 10.6%. Long-dated zero-coupon treasury bonds, historically labeled as the safest assets on Earth, plummeted by an unbelievable 39.2%. To put that scale of destruction into perspective, a historical asset analysis by Santa Clara University revealed that 2022 was the absolute worst calendar year for long-duration U.S. bonds going back to the year 1754. Let that timeline sink in. In 1754, the United States didn't even exist yet. There were only 13 colonies. The safe portion of America's retirement system experienced its worst year in 268 years. There is one single critical metric that explains why some bond portfolios got hit with minor bruises while others took a broken leg. It is called duration. It is printed clearly on every single bond fund's fact sheet, yet it is the one number most retail investors completely ignore. Duration is a mathematical estimate of how much a bond fund will lose for every single percentage point rise in interest rates. Imagine a retiree who has built a $500,000 nest egg in what she believes is a safe bond fund. If her fund has a duration of 6, which is typical for a broad market bond index, a 1% rise in interest rates will wipe out $30,000 of her principal. But if her advisor put her into a long-dated treasury fund with a duration of 17, that exact same 1% rise in rates will instantly wipe out $85,000 of her wealth. Same retiree, same $500,000 principal, same market interest rate move, but a devastating $55,000 difference in losses, simply because she didn't look at one single number. And there is a critical detail that millions of retirees learned the hard way in 2022. If you buy a single individual treasury bond and hold it all the way to maturity, the daily price fluctuations along the way don't matter to you. You collect your fixed coupon every year and you get your full principal back at the end. You can ignore the market fluctuations entirely. But a bond fund is completely different. A bond fund never matures. It is a constantly shifting basket of bonds that gets marked to market and repriced every single trading day. When macro interest rates rise, the capital losses on that basket show up on your statement, and they stay there permanently. The massive losses of 2022 didn't just magically disappear when the year ended. While government debt is backed by the ultimate power to print money, private corporations do not have that luxury. Companies can and do go bankrupt. Because of this risk, when a private company issues a bond, investors demand a higher yield than they would accept from the risk-free U.S. government. The gap between safe government bond yields and risky corporate bond yields is what Wall Street calls the high-yield spread. When this spread is narrow, it means the market is calm and confident. But when that gap starts to widen aggressively, the bond market is sending an early warning signal of incoming economic distress, predicted bankruptcies, massive layoffs, and missed debt payments. The high-yield spread is one of the cleanest, most reliable leading indicators of corporate panic available to the public, and it almost always moves weeks before official economic data or job reports are published. This relationship works in reverse. When panic spikes, when investors smell a recession, a geopolitical conflict, or a banking crisis, they panic sell their stocks and corporate debt and rush into the safety of U.S. treasuries. This macro movement is called a flight to quality. This sudden rush of capital pushes treasury prices up and sends treasury yields down, often within a matter of hours. This mechanism is why during normal historical periods, stocks and bonds move in opposite directions, acting as a natural hedge. When stocks drop, money floods into bonds, pushing bond prices up and softening the blow to a diversified portfolio. But 2022 was so destructive because the root cause of the crash was rising interest rates. And rising interest rates are poison to both stocks and bonds at the exact same time. The hedge broke down completely because the very thing meant to protect the portfolio became the asset causing the damage. This exact same mechanical logic dictates how major institutions price the entire stock market. Government bonds offer a guaranteed, risk-free yield. Stocks offer a higher expected return, but with zero guarantees. The difference between what investors expect to make in the stock market and what they could make completely risk-free from a 10-year treasury is called the equity risk premium. If the 10-year treasury is paying 4.5% and an investor expects the stock market to return 7% over the long run, the reward for taking on stock market risk is a premium of just 2.5 percentage points. When risk-free bond yields rise, that premium shrinks. And when that premium gets too small, institutional investors stop risking their capital in stocks and rotate their trillions into safe, high-yielding bonds. The historic stock bull market from 2009 to 2021 was largely driven by the fact that bond yields were near zero. Stocks were practically the only option. But the 2022 crash was the exact reverse. Yields rose, the equity premium was squeezed to its limits, and money fled back into the bond market. If you want to know where the global economy is heading, stop listening to academic economists or news anchors. Look instead at the single most accurate predictor of the future ever created. The yield curve. The yield curve is a very simple chart. It plots the yields of U.S. Treasury bonds across their maturities, starting from 3-month short-term bills all the way out to 30-year long-term bonds. In a healthy, normal economy, the yield curve slopes upward. Short-term maturities sit on the left with lower yields, while long-term maturities sit on the right with higher yields. This upward slope is logical. The longer your capital is tied up in a contract, the more risk you take on, and the more compensation you demand to lock up your cash. A 30-year loan is inherently riskier than a 3-month loan because infinitely more things can go wrong over 3 decades. Economists call this extra yield the term premium. But occasionally, the yield curve does something highly unusual. It inverts. Short-term yields rise significantly higher than long-term yields. The 2-year Treasury starts paying a higher interest rate than the 10-year Treasury. When this happens, the bond market is making a definitive, high-conviction prediction. It expects the economy to slow down so aggressively that the Federal Reserve will be forced to cut interest rates in the near future to save the system. According to historical data from the Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco, every single one of the last 10 U.S. recessions going back to 1955 was preceded by an inverted yield curve. That is a flawless 10-for-10 predictive record over 70 years. No other economic indicator on Earth comes close to this level of accuracy. The bond market doesn't scream its predictions, but when the yield curve inverts, it is making the loudest statement in global finance. So how do you apply this mechanical reality to your personal wealth right now? According to the FDIC, the national average savings account at a traditional retail bank pays a pathetic interest rate of just 0.38%. Meanwhile, a 3-month U.S. Treasury bill pays exponentially more, while high-yield online savings accounts pay over 4%. All 3 of these options are virtually identical in terms of safety. T-bills are backed by the full faith and credit of the U.S. Treasury, and high-yield savings accounts are FDIC-insured up to $250,000. It is the exact same cash, with the exact same safety, but with a dramatically different return. The only difference is which institution is holding your money. Let's look back at Brian. Imagine, Brian has $50,000 in cash sitting idle in a standard savings account at his local brick-and-mortar bank, earning that average FDIC rate of 0.38%. That account pays him a useless $190 a year in interest. But if Brian moves that exact same $50,000 into 3-month Treasury bills yielding 3.71%, he suddenly makes $1,855 a year. That risk-free Treasury option pays Brian 9.8 times more money on the exact same principle. By leaving his cash sitting idle in a traditional bank account, Brian is quietly losing $8,325 in interest over a 5-year period, money he could have collected without taking on a single ounce of extra risk. As a massive bonus, Treasury bill interest is entirely exempt from state and local income taxes, widening that gap even further if you live in a high-tax state. If you have any portion of your hard-earned capital or retirement savings sitting in bond funds, find the fund's fact sheet today and look up its duration. If that duration is above 7, your portfolio is going to swing violently whenever interest rates move. If the duration is above 15, that bond fund is going to behave like a volatile, high-risk stock rather than the safe financial seatbelt you were promised. If inflation is your primary concern, look into Series 1 savings bonds, which pay a composite interest rate that automatically adjusts with the cost of living. While there are purchase limits of $10,000 per person per year, I-bonds remain one of the most direct, government-backed inflation hedges available to any regular saver. The 10-year Treasury yield takes exactly 5 seconds to look up online. When that yield climbs, your future mortgage, car loans, and corporate debt rates climb right along with it. When it plunges, the bond market is bracing for an economic slowdown. It is the ultimate check engine light for the global financial machine, and now you know exactly how to read it. The bond market is not some complex game reserved only for Wall Street elites. It is the fundamental, invisible machinery that prices your home, your savings, your retirement, and the very business that pays your salary. Every single dollar in your financial life is touched by its gears. The people who navigate this system successfully are not inherently smarter than you. They simply stopped pretending that macroeconomics is boring, took the time to learn the rules of the sandbox, and started building real systems. If this video connected the dots for you and made this complex machine simple, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next breakdown, and drop a comment below letting us know where your cash is parked right now. Lock in your focus, do the math, and I will see you in the next video.